Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode of podcast series presented by CAM's IITM Fintech Innovation Lab. I am Goutham, your host today, and here our guest Dr. Kameswari, strategic business advisor with over 3 decades of experience in business consultancy and management. She is a qualified chartered accountant and holds a PhD in finance from IIT Madras. She has been an independent director across boards in multiple industries, including GMR Group and L&T. Today, we have her to break down the budget of 2026 and 27 and India's economic growth. Yeah. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Gautam. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. See, if you would ask to tell the budget in one word, what would it be like?
One word, can I use a hyphen?
Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
you can.
Yeah. So I would say it is maybe Bhavishya Setu,
Okay.
which means that it's a bridge to the future. So the whole reading and the thought process, the way I inferred, and also from the preamble from our finance minister and chief economic advisor, is that India is getting ready for the future. Keeping future in mind, this budget is a stepping stone or a platform. So Bhavishya Setu is what I would like to call the whole budget for financial year 27.
Right, very interesting. So if what does an ideal budget for a developing economy like India look like? So should we expect it to be more ambitious or stabilized or inclusive, or expecting all three of them together an unrealistic thing?
I would say it's all of whatever you said and more.
Okay.
Because when we look at the budget for a country, it's like looking at an annual plan for a company at a smaller level.
Right.
So the budget is actually a blueprint for the financial performance of the country.
Yes.
So it is like an operating plan, right? So it has to build a balance between how are you going to raise or mobilize resources, where are you going to spend it from, what is the fiscal discipline which you are going to maintain, what is your fiscal deficit, how are you going to borrow, where are you going to deploy the funds, is it only deployment in revenue generating areas, what about the other areas which you need to grow?
Yeah.
Therefore there would be the welfare schemes, and the key philosophy would be how do you build equality and a development which is inclusive,
right,
of all segments, all sectors, all stratas. Given the fact that you have so many intentions, designs, etc., policy implementations becomes a bigger challenge. So I would say an annual budget of a country is like managing a fine balance, so that we factor in all of these elements. And that is the biggest challenge any country has to do. So we cannot tilt the balance in any one particular direction.
Sure. Yeah? Absolutely. That's how the ideal budget looks like. So let's say, what does Atmanirbhar Bharat in a realistic sense mean for a developing economy like India? Is it like, we are self-sufficient enough for what we produce, or is it like we are becoming more strategic towards self-reliance? What is it like?
Good question. I think in 2014, the concept of Atmanirbhar Bharat evolved. That is making Bharat self-reliant. Now, what do we mean by being self-reliant? Where is this? Is it in one sector? Is it in one industry? So I think the thought process is saying that we need to grow strong across all sectors. If we were to become a dominant emerging economy, we have to be strong in all areas.
Right.
May it be technology, may it be innovation, may it be infrastructure, may it be manufacturing. But can we do everything at the same time? That calls for a lot of infrastructure and resources. So the prioritization began. In fact, even our neighboring country, China, started off saying that a very similar philosophy, make in China and made in China by 2026 or 27.
Right.
So the key philosophy is saying that let's reduce our dependencies by strengthening our local capabilities. So that means that we needed to prioritize.
Right.
Example is that the rationale for this also is that our dependencies to secure our own nation, the national security, became a challenge at a single point in time. Our capabilities to use the space and the satellite was getting restricted, and we did live in the restricted area.
Yes.
So there is this particular time frame which actually set in saying that we need to break through all of these kind of challenges and come out with self-reliant Bharat. It has been happening slowly,
Yes.
and the proof of it is that we have seen in the recent episodes in our national security areas. So examples of achievements of Atmanirbhar Bharat, a striking and a very happy thing to note is in the defense sector.
Yes.
When all of us saw what Operation Sindoor is protecting our borders.
Post the war between Pakistan, we have seen a lot of defense orders getting into our.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that has placed India in a very different level.
Yes.
Digital transformation, digital transformative initiatives. I think Aadhaar is something which was thought through, implemented. It had its own skepticism.
Yes.
But I think that is a great success story when we look at it at a global platform, a unique identity which can facilitate several things.
Yes.
Digital initiatives, UPI.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a fantastic one.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of countries now wanting to share the know-how or the technology. And all of these facilitated the welfare scheme distributions to reach the correct person directly, and therefore disintermediation. So these are all initiatives which have been happening, and this is the time when we look back and say, yes, we have achieved all of this, and this is helping our self-reliance as a country. Similar programs were done, as I was saying, in China, and they had all in fact, if I remember one of the presentations when I went for some of the seminars way long way ago, when Apple initially was launched, they said that I saw a presentation in which they said that we need to have a competing product with Apple by so and so date, and they did it.
Yeah.
And they have taken over a particular segment and the market share of some of these things. So I think that is very important to have. Now coming back to the budget, how are we going to build that for Atmanirbhar Bharat going forward? I think they have started thinking about new technologies, high-tech areas, industries which are going to propel the growth from where we are today going forward. So the budget today talks about specific focus on rare earths, specific continuing programs for ensuring that we reach the targeted budget. Semiconductors, the manufacturing of the chips and the industry to be localized here. GCC centers, that is the global capability centers, to be coming. So you see a lot of investment coming in to Andhra Pradesh. So we're trying to build our capabilities, capacities, and resilience, so that we are able to manage the headwinds which may come, and we have seen a lot of that in this particular year. So this is a time for us to recognize the fact that Atmanirbhar Bharat has actually helped us face the headwinds. So the current budget also facilitates all of these things to build for the future.
Right.
It's not just today. That's what the whole budget is all about.
Yes. I mean, as you rightly pointed out about China, they have achieved what all they have done till date. Let it be the rare earths or other things. They have started these things very early. I mean, it's decades of effort which they have put in. If you take in the case of India, we have just started recently. It takes a lot of efforts. It's not very easy. Do you think we are underestimating the the complexities that are accrued throughout this process? And what do you think are the structural gaps for India to achieve all what we are thinking or aspiring for?
Very interesting question. We have also started 2 decades ago. The visibility is what we are seeing today. So, in terms of structural growth, there could be several challenges. Starting from resources, capabilities, it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
But I think the wise people who prepare the budget, I'm sure they have recognized all of this, and they said it's going to be a staggered plan.
Right.
So you're building your rare earth corridor, building mining and processing, technologies for that, bringing it to the market, and that's going to take some time. So it's not going to happen overnight.
It's because we have to mine it, you have
Right.
to process it, and then that there comes the production.
Correct.
There's a lot of steps
Yeah.
to actually earn the value.
Correct.
Under it. Yeah.
So I think going forward there will be challenging times, and I think as a country, policymakers plus the private participants and the people, if we are at the same path, the momentum would be faster. Yeah.
Let's hope for the best. And is Viksit Bharat by 2047 an economic roadmap, or what do you think? Is it just a political branding? What do you think? What ensures it to achieve what all we have thought in this process, but not just ending up in the political branding?
Right. So let's look at Viksit Bharat. What does Viksit Bharat state? It talks about an aspirational stage, what we want to be 2047.
Yeah.
Now, that's a goal or an objective statement. Now, if I were to compare it with a corporate or us as an individual, if I were to ask you, what do you want to be 10 years down the line? I'm sure you have a goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So that is the stated goal. By Viksit Bharat, we want to achieve 30 to 40 billion in terms of our GDP. We want to make our whole country develop and increase the per capita earning levels. We want to have a better living lifestyle, good infrastructure, better amenities. So these are the goals which were stated in Viksit Bharat. Now, I'm not very sure if it is a political statement, but I would say that that is a country's stated goal, where all the policy formulation, all the budget efforts, all the spend is moving towards to achieve some of these things.
Right.
So this is going to also give us a focus, saying that if there are headwinds, like what we have seen, I think through 2025, this last year was a very good year for us today.
Yes.
Looking back, because it has taught us so many things.
Yeah.
It has said that we were boxed in by tariffs, we were boxed in by currency challenges, we were boxed in by sourcing crude. So many of these challenges, and we have come out, I would say, fairly successfully. In fact, if we were to listen or go through the preamble by our chief economic advisor, he says that we have achieved stellar performance in this year. The only thing is that the macroeconomics need to be rewarded, but the time is that it's not being looked upon or rewarded because of so many challenges, but we did do very well. So I don't know whether it is a political statement, but it also gives us the feature saying that last 2 decades we saw a significant amount of globalization.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, it doesn't matter where you source from, build your supply chains across the world. You manufacture anywhere, you distribute anywhere, you look for your market. So all countries, especially the big powers, political powers or big economies, because their economies were actually starting to shrink. I remember talking to a friend who said that we are entering India not for today, not for tomorrow. This is after 2 decades.
Right.
We want to see profits in India.
Definitely.
Because our home markets are shrinking. Okay, so that is the philosophy of globalization. So what happened in this? Everybody opened up markets. Everybody opened up. I mean, it can be 100%, 50%, whatever, but everybody did it.
Yeah.
So this led to certain countries becoming very good at manufacturing. Certain countries were left behind as consumption points. I'm sure you know what countries I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Now,
definitely.
Today, the same big powers have realized that they don't have the capabilities or talent to go forward in their economy, and they're heavily debt dependent.
Mhm.
So now every country is looking inward, saying that how do I make myself reliant?
Right.
So probably it's a cycle. So Viksit Bharat actually addresses this, saying that I will look outward for my market, I will look inward, strengthen myself as Atmanirbhar Bharat, but achieve this as a goal. So I'm not very sure whether it's a political this thing, but it's a very good goal statement. And if all of us were to follow the lead of that particular thing, we would also be lending our little hands to achieve those goals.
Yeah. As you rightly pointed out, most of the developed economies are more levered. Like they mostly source using debt. Having said that, our aim or goal for next couple of years, as the finance minister rightly said, she told we are targeting the debt to GDP ratio to 50 plus or minus 1% by 2030.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of fiscal consolidation over the period. What do you think? Is it a right decision to do it, or we should be a little more aggressive, in spending in the fiscal part?
Yeah. So we do have experts who have thought about this, and it's a very strategic intent. So when you see some of the large economies, their debt to GDP is more than 100, 140, 150, 130 kind of a things.
Yes.
What does that mean? It means that I am generating resources which are more than my borrowing.
Right.
Okay. And if we start looking at the interest payouts very critically, those interest payouts outweigh or a significant chunk out of the GDP. That means that whatever I'm earning as a country, my income, most of it is going back into payment of interest.
Right.
There are some of the large economies who are borrowing to just repay their interest. What does that mean? They're into a severe debt trap.
Right.
That's the same thing which holds good for a company or for an individual. If I cannot repay and if I'm borrowing to pay interest, I'm in severe debt trap. So I think a very prudent measure is to saying that let me keep my fiscal, my debt to GDP ratio at a very prudent level, conservative level. Now, one of the things which I also saw is that the government is also looking at, in this particular, the stated is reduce the revenue expenditure.
Right.
So on the one hand, we are trying to increase the revenue income. On the other hand, we are also trying to manage our expenditure. So that we have that incremental net income which can support our other initiatives. So to come back to your question, is it a good thing? Are we being very conservative? Are we being very aggressive? I think we're being conservative. Personally, I would think it's a great way forward, especially because we are not one of those developed countries yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is always the thing to criticize, if I may use that word, if it is not too very harsh, to say that yes, you guys are, have a ruler in your hand to say you guys are overshooting your debt to GDP, whereas it's okay for the others. So I think it is very important for us to be conservative, and within that conservatism, we can grow. That's the best of the ideal these things.
So we can conclude that we are in a safe spot.
Yes, as of now.
As of now. So having said that, all the aspirations we have, do you think we have the capacity, the institutional capacity to achieve all the milestones we are heading ahead?
I think if we don't have, we will build. That's the kind of determination which I see when we see our Prime Minister talking, or our Finance Minister talking, or our Chief Economic Advisor saying that. So today, probably rare earths is the best of the examples.
Yeah.
We don't have great capabilities, but we will build. We have seen that over the past 2 decades when we were building our space programs, ISRO. Perhaps we had the capabilities, and it was not visible until we saw some of the launches happening and some of the once in a lifetime in the universe kind of things happening, land. So I think it is there. It's a well protected, well kept secret. The space programs, the defense programs which we have seen. So the government, I think, is determined to build capabilities where we are lacking. Is there a potential time lag? Probably. But will we keep up? looking at what we have done in the past, perhaps we will.
Definitely, especially in the space,
Yeah.
in the space region, we have got a very good name,
Yeah.
especially sending economic and most successful missions.
Yeah.
Doing that, it's a very good future looking forward, and absolutely, yes.
I would think so. Yes.
And next, coming to the market expectations, most of us, it's like we expect the foreign direct investments or foreign portfolio investors. They expect tax holidays or ease in LTCG or security transaction tax, etc. And are these expectations from them is reliable? I mean, do you think they are fair enough for easing few things for our growth, or going in a very aggressive pace, like we are going at around 7% annually? So what do you think? Is it a right thing to do, or the expectation is fair enough, or we should be more conservative, or
Yeah.
seeing
So
the fiscal lens?
if you ask me, you don't want to pay taxes, I would say no, I don't want to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure that's the kind of a thing.
Yes.
Capital gains, no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But having said that, is it realistic? Probably not, for different reasons. For definitely revenue mobilization. You do need those, otherwise the government will have to resort to borrowing.
Yeah.
But given the fact that in the current budget, I think one of the things which has been not a very well accepted one, at least temporary, is the STT RAI increase in the derivative and the FNO kind of a thing.
Sector,
yeah. So, but if you look at it, I think 0.2 has become 0.25. I think it is a 2.5 times increase in.
It's a 150% increase in the futures market and 50% increase in option market.
50% increase in an option market.
Yeah.
Now, this is not a big thing when you look at the absolute numbers and how it rolls up to the overall tax collection numbers. It's a minuscule number. So the argument can be, maybe we could have been spared, right? When you look at the mix of people who are into the financial the markets, there could be the institutional investors and the retail investors. So the last year and the previous year, the statistics show that the retail investors, though they are significant in terms of the numbers, 90% of them have lost. These are the numbers which have statistics put out by SEBI and NSE. Both of them have come out and said 90% of retail investors lose money.
Right.
And that is not through investment in cash or whatever. It is mostly into the derivatives and the FNO market. So I think the step taken, the way I read it, is to saying that let us make this a deterrent. Now, question is, there are the other institutional investors also. I'm sure they would have means to make up for that small difference in terms of the taxation, because they are talking about larger time-based investments. So they probably could absorb, or they will find, they need to find other options. But coming back to retail investors, this is expected to be a deterrent, saying that don't enter into the market because your taxes are high. And if you're doing intraday trading, your revenues are going to be, or your income is going to be only so much, you're paying half of it back to the finance minister, as somebody else had mentioned it.
Yes.
Probably for some time, there would be some kind of a drop in retail investors. But what drives the market is like what we know, that fear and greed drive the market.
Absolutely.
So if a pool of investors, retail investors especially, move out, there would be another pool of investors coming in.
Right.
So like the mean reverting methodology of the markets, it would still be absorbed, I think.
Yes.
My takeaway is that probably fairly good initiative, but probably may not have the impact as desired, because one set of, in fact, I have read somewhere, one set of people go away, another set of people come back into the market, and the pool keeps expanding in anticipation of greed, and they will exit when there is fear.
Yeah, the regulators are very, very stringent. They have started this initiative to decrease the retail participation.
Right.
I mean, we did see right from the restriction of a single expiry from a particular
Yeah.
exchange and other initiatives, we have seen a significant drop in the volumes, but they did come back.
Correct.
They did come back.
Yeah.
So it's not a very bad idea to do it.
Yeah.
And talking about this, what do you think are the internal or external headwinds we have? Is it mostly the geopolitics or the internal chaos for the strategic development of our economy?
So we have seen a lot of headwinds.
Yeah.
In 25.
Right.
Some of them have eased. We don't know because we have signed the FTA agreements. We have agreed on the FTA agreements yet to be signed.
Yet to be signed.
So if that happens, we will probably be in a better position because we have stalled quite a few so that India is at an advantage vis-a-vis others. Not give too much away and also not trying to build a parity across what we want to do. So will the headwinds continue? Probably yes. Will there be more? Probably yes, because all the countries are becoming more and more inward looking, trying to protect their own economies, because most of the developed economies or larger economies, they're facing stagnation in terms of growth. So there would be other means to support whatever is the expenditure. So the headwinds going forward probably would be more or less, if not more, similar to what we have faced in 2025. But the challenges for India would still continue probably because we are a growing economy and we have about a significant, if I'm correct in my numbers, about 12 million youth entering the labor market every year. So, the channelizing of the existing resources to build capabilities and talent pools, that is what is part of the budget. They're building capability centers, they're supporting schools, education, institutions. Significant portion has been set aside to get the students who can be job ready, who can start learning new technologies at an earlier stage. Because in some of the countries, children who are as young as 6 years, 7 years, they've started coding.
Right.
So those are kind of initiatives which they're planning to bring it into India. AI is a big, we don't know which direction it is going. Is it a disruption? Again, when you talk about headwinds and challenges, significant amount of focus is being deployed in AI. So we saw in the recent last couple of days, the technology.
Anthropic, to be honest, Anthropic.
Yeah. Now, some say it is relating to only a segment of industry, some say it relates to something else. Now, we don't know where it is going. Now, when you again look at valuations of some of these, is it very similar to the dot-com era? We don't know as of now till the bubble bursts or the bubble continues to fly high. But coming from India perspective, we are putting a lot of our resources into building capabilities for these GCCs, AI, cloud technologies, data centers, the hope that it takes off. Otherwise, we would be in the same bandwagon as the other countries and the Silicon Valleys of the world, where we are saying that, yes, let's face it.
Yeah, as you rightly said, we gave a tax holiday for cloud services of foreign providers and all. And yeah, do you think we are still behind the AI race? Though you are quoting that there is a bubble, AI bubble, Anthropic, which is valued like, if you compile all the IT pioneers of India, including the blue chip companies, etc., they're valuing around 28 lakh odd crores. But if you see Anthropic, at which that actually raising money, it's around 30 lakh crores, which is more than what the IT infra we have or the IT companies we have.
So that is, jury is still out on AI, per se AI tools. Is it overhyped? Is it actually happening? I mean, today, the other day I was reading or talking to somebody who was saying that doctors are using AI for this thing. Nurses are using for finding quick fix. So if it is becoming a daily habit and probably using it as they're using a Google, where is all this information going? How is it getting stacked up? Is it generating false positives? We don't know. it's only time which will tell us in terms of this, especially the open AI platforms. Again, wait and watch. We should not be entering the era of the dot-coms.
Yeah.
Because while other countries probably have means of raising or closing in that kind of capital deficiencies, if at all there is a the bubble burst, India, we are putting quite a bit of our eggs into that particular thing. So,
I mean, do you think is that the reason why FI is exiting India for the last couple of months? You see, they are always sellers for the last couple of months. They almost exited, took 1 lakh odd crores from our market over the months. Do you think is that the reason?
So I don't know the exact reasons. Can't get into the heads of them, but typically capital movement from sectors, countries, mix. Some of it has gone into commodities, some of it has gone into crypto. It flees. It is not loyal to any particular sector, if I may say so. So there was a boom when the interest rates were going up and the cryptos were going up. So the capital anyway flew out of India. Okay. Now that interest rates, the US Fed has given certain guidances that about interest rates being to be held steady. And we saw the change in sentiment in crypto. We saw a lot of gold, metals skyrocketing. Now, so the capital flees and they take out profits, as in if at all there are profits. I'm sure the big boys are making profits. So the capital flees to where it is attractive. So again, at the same level of the country, China had deficit, that India, it flew in. Then again, when India flows out, it goes to another commodity. So I would be a little worried, but not too much, because it will come back the minute we show performance, the minute we show growth. It will slowly, and for all you know, they're actually booking profits.
Once we get good results, quarterly results, I think they will be back. So having said that, dollar index, if you see the dollar index, it's almost in 52-week low. Dollar is weakening. Even dollar is weakening. Our currency is weakening against dollar. I know. What do you think? Is it good for our exports growth, or it is harming us back? While the imports are still all-time high, we have to import crude, etc.
So if we look at 25, I think 2025 is a year of test, year of resilience, year of being nimble, agile. Our biggest concern for currency has always been because of the import of crude. I think that has been sort of, I won't say neutralized, sort of managed in 2025, because we had a mix of sources, and the sources were willing to take non-dollar currencies. So that helped probably the demand on dollar. Otherwise, it would have probably gone worse. So if you look at it, for different reasons, probably the central bank supported or did not support the dollar. I think they know it better. Some of it is market-driven conditions, but probably this is helping our exporters much more. And as a basket, probably it's not too bad. How can we say something like this? Is that typically when our home currency falls vis-a-vis global currencies, that should trigger off signals. If not on a monthly basis, at least on a quarterly basis, we should see the impact in terms of inflation. And if inflation gets triggered off, then economists would look at interest to manage that. So we have not seen those kind of impacts in the last 3 quarters. So probably, while the currency, home currency is falling vis-a-vis dollar, we've not seen the trickle-down effect into the economy through either inflation or interest rates.
Inflation is almost stable.
Inflation is stable. So there is some probably, I won't say magic, but a very good management which is happening to manage this particular thing. Otherwise, our inflation would have started to go up. We don't feel that inflation. The minute it goes up, interest rates get affected. So the witness or the outcome of this foreign exchange parity, which is there, and the way the exports are growing, not though very big,
Yeah.
is probably the fact that we're not seeing impact on inflation and interest. That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
Not yet, at least.
We'll see how things go in future.
Right.
Yeah, so, the most debatable question. See, being a taxpayer,
Yeah.
see, I pay tax on my income I've generated.
Right.
I pay tax, the GST on the
Right.
goods I've
Yeah.
purchasing. There are a lot of chaos in all over the market.
Right.
People say we are paying a lot of tax, but are they really enjoying or deserving what they actually expected to do? Be it the infrastructure,
Yeah.
like schools, hospitals. If you see the West, they provide at most quality resources. But do you think we actually have it, or there's way to go?
So, very interesting question. Let me just think about it, what you have said. We are paying a lot of tax.
Yeah.
Are we being rewarded for it?
Yeah.
In the proportion at which we are paying
Yes.
taxes? Now, where is this money going? It goes significantly to defense. It is going into healthcare. It is going into education. Okay. Are these tangible? They're tangible now because we have had the biggest challenge and we have come out of it with no injury, no bruises. So I think as a common person, I need to appreciate the fact that whatever I am paying as tax is helping me live comfortably here.
Yeah.
Because when you see what is happening in different regions, I wouldn't want to be in any of these things, including our neighboring countries. What is happening in the Middle East. So security is a very good example. Infrastructure, there is scope for improvement, significant. But that infrastructure, if you see the railways, the Vande Bharats, the sleepers which are coming, the digital payment frameworks, all that comes at a cost, the UPI payment cost. So we as a consumer, we are taking it for granted. These are not things which are available internationally. Healthcare, the government has stepped in to regulate and reduce the rate of medicines, monitoring it. Otherwise, it was at a very high level. So these are some of the things which are not perceived. And so the question is the glass half full, half empty, or 3/4 empty?
Right.
Okay. And we as citizens, are we as disciplined as like what you're saying in the West?
Yeah.
Simple things about the Vande Bharat, good infrastructure. Are we maintaining it as responsible citizens?
That's always a topic of debate. Yeah.
Always a topic of debate.
Yeah.
So, earlier, this is just a separate note, we were a society where we are saying, this is my responsibility, I will do it.
Yeah.
We have become a society where we are saying, this is my right, where is it?
Yeah.
Forgetting totally my own responsibility, leaving everything. Infrastructure has been created at a very strategic locations where it's going to protect our country. Infrastructure is being given within the country in terms of your dedicated freight corridors for your railways, 6-lane highways, all of that is being done through public-private partnership. Is there a scope for improvement? Of course, there is a scope for improvement. Yes. But I think, coming back to my analogy of the glass being half full, half empty, I think most of the times we are saying, it's 3/4 empty, give me more.
Yeah.
So that also, is it a perception? Probably yes. Because if you compare generations, my generation to your generation, I think we've achieved a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. From your generation, maybe we need more. Yeah. So I think that is also there. Where I have this hope saying that the Viksit Bharat program and the Atmanirbhar program will take us to where we want to be, and we will be regarded as great citizens of the world.
Yeah.
And have good infrastructure, good healthcare. Primary healthcare is quite good in India. So we have eradicated so many of those diseases, etc., which were not there.
Yeah.
And in states, including like in state like Tamil Nadu, you go to a government's hospital or government primary care center. For example, I took my COVID shots in the center in Besanagar or Adiyar, which is very close. It's a government thing.
Yeah.
It's clean, very regulated. So how many of us are using those facilities? Is it only the lower income strata people using those facilities? Step out and go and see them. You have them. It's not providing you the healthcare which say a country like Canada provides, but there are waiting right. So there is a balance, and probably we will get there at some point in time. We have Ayushman Bharat, which is there. So the government's welfare schemes, where is our money going? When you ask, is going into all of these things. So I think we should look at saying that the glass is at least half full.
Half full, yeah. Absolutely. Being the very highly populated state, it takes time. It does take time. And thank you for your thoughts and ideas and inputs on this discussion. It was very insightful, ma'am. Thank you for the session.
Thank you very much for having me here.
It is a pleasure hosting you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Nice meeting you too.
Yeah, definitely. And before ending this up, if you had to give one advice for a younger generation, which you wish you had known this earlier, what would that be?
Very good question. So I'm very conservative.
Okay.
I don't live on EMIs. Whatever my money, I put it in post office saving deposits. Some of it is in the markets.
Okay.
I have a house to live in. So when I see the generation today, probably coming with a lot of bias. EMI is not a way going forward.
Okay.
Like the way our country, we want to keep our debt to GDP ratio stable. So they learn more, build knowledge. Whatever you earn, say 50%, live in the 50% balance. I think, there's a definite generation gap. But prudence and conservatism is what will take us forward. I think not the recent one, but a couple of years ago, our savings in the old generation instruments is sort of coming down. Your fixed deposits, etc., etc. Why? Because people are either spending it, using it for EMIs, or using it in the stock markets, not through mutual funds or whatever, but generally, I think 2019 post-COVID times, everybody minted money. Everybody was sitting at home.
Yes.
So be a little risk averse. Lifestyle changes, significant lifestyle changes are there. Again, old gen versus next gen.
I think it's all about the society or the economy push. We are obviously a consumption-based economy. So the society is actually pushing us to spend a lot of money, is what I think.
Probably yes and no, but it is also the free will which we have, which we need to exercise. Some of these sit at home and order ones, we get addicted to that comfort zone. That is what they want. And if you get addicted to it, you will not even step out to go buy a newspaper. Not newspaper. People don't buy newspapers these days. a liter of milk from 100 feet away. We would expect a Insta delivery or a Swiggy delivery, Blinkit delivery, right? So some societal changes are there, probably expected because of disruptions due to technology or work, or it is expected to happen. But this is the way I have grown. So I will not say this is the way you should do it. If it makes sense, think about it.
That does make a little sense, but I don't completely agree.
I'm sure you have.
It was very pleasure hosting you, ma'am. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. I really liked the questions you have asked and hope you are happy with the answers or the replies.
Definitely. It was very insightful.
Thank you so much.